let's get into some stats.
Okay.
Pornhub. Okay, well, yes, they are. There's quite a bit of crime going on Pornhub.
There's a lot of crime on Pornhub. There's a lot of crime just in general. But I feel like this tells you a lot about members of our constituency.
Of course. So they released all the stats of the years, what the top searches are. So I mean, it's not anything that surprising. MILF, hentai,
sure,
so on and so forth. Android made a 1,000% gain on search.
Now, did you go on Did you go on Pornhub and look up Android and see what that even means? Because I don't know if it's just like because part of me wonders is about Android-friendly VR porn.
Well, it is just the search term Android. So what comes up is something.
Do you care
different.
if I do this on here?
There's the private search.
Yeah.
Do you want to throw that on there?
Yeah.
I just want to see, because I've never heard of that category before, and I just want to see what happens.
Is it people fucking robots, or is it like people
Again, this is for work.
From their phone?
And I want everybody who's an employee to mark this as for work. If it shows up on the thing, this is research for the goddamn
This isn't anything we talked about in the office, not into a microphone.
Well, Android is often combined with video game searches.
Oh, interesting.
So they
Lesbian
want
sexy robot, Android 18.
Android cosplay, Android role play. So they want somebody dressed up as a beep boop robot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But no tinfoil.
I mean, we're past tinfoil, bro.
What do you mean?
They look like people now.
Yeah.
No, they don't yet.
Well, I mean, when you put the fake skin on them, they look like people.
Well, we have like real dolls, but they're not doing anything. It's not like they can go out and get a job or whatever. They can't protect the house. They just lay there, get fucked, and then have to be washed out.
Arguably a job.
I guess
arguably a full-on job.
Room and board.
Yeah.
Paid in room and board.
it's mostly a service.
Yeah. Well, the most interesting part of these stats is the United States top relative searches. And these are terms searched more often in each state when compared to all the others.
Okay, it's not like which relative they want to fuck.
No. But there is that. There is quite a bit of that as well.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that there's not a lot of states that have that relative fucking, like the whole
Stepbrother,
stepbrother, stepsister, incest,
You
all
never
that.
hear stepfather. Why is that?
You hear it in gay porn. It shows up in gay. They also have the gay searches. Shows up in gay porn.
Yeah.
Daddy is also very large, very tall on the list. I was about to say very long on the list.
There was a fucking video I was searching for the stream that I had found, and someone deleted, and I was looking for it for a long time. I didn't think about the connotation. And so the video, again, if you know what this video is, please send it to sidestorieslpotl@gmail.com.
Your computer's going to explode.
This is just, but the video was of a man, and this is real. He was caught masturbating in public, and it's all video of him masturbating, but like real lazily, just masturbating in public. But then you see him being arrested, and he's continuing to masturbating, and then you continue him to be back. He gets into the cop car, and someone's filming him trying to suck his own dick inside of the cop car, right? Because fully erect. He must have been.
You're already in there.
He must have had a Red Bull. And so, but then I looked all that up. Right, I looked up man masturbating caught by police.
That's going to be a lot of different
people.
Yeah, it's really like very graphic, and a lot of it's not that video.
Because one of the top searches is also both in gay and straight is uniform. Cops, firefighters,
sure, that makes
soldiers.
sense.
Well, that's popular for all time. Dudes show up dressed like a cop. They
Everyone
take their
loves
clothes off. Everyone parties and fucking practices blowing them.
But there's no state that. But there's no state that has any of those like top
what
searches,
you considered
like that one of those top searches, one of those things that you would consider like, all right.
No Blue Lives Matter.
Oh my God. Blue balls matter.
No, it's stuff like, for example, like, okay, some of them do make sense. Utah, Mormon.
Sure.
Yes.
Utah searches Mormon more than anyone else. New Mexico, Native American.
Wow.
Okay.
More than anybody else. Wyoming, goth.
Really?
Yeah.
I could
they
see
like the outsiders.
Yeah.
There's a little something special.
I could definitely see some ranch goth.
Here's also another interesting one. In Nevada, the top search term is Vegas.
You're already there.
Well, that's where all the debauchery is. So if you're in Henderson, you're not going to search Henderson.
That's where you're going to get away from it.
Hibbins, Minnesota. You're not going to be searching Hibbins, but if you search Vegas, you kind of get a little charge, and I was like, hey,
search
Las
Vegas when I go to Pornhub jazz breads.
I remember some of the weird porn I used to get when a kid. I used to go to Vegas, and they would just straight back in the day in the 90s, they would just hand you porn in the street.
Yeah, I remember that.
There'd be like little stars on the nipples and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they would just. I remember being like 12 and be like, what?
I guess I can look it up again on his computer.
West Virginia, they'd be into that. Nip slip. That's their biggest one.
Really?
Wow, that's interesting.
There's some very, very like specific ones. Like, for example, Texas, creamy.
Really?
Just simply creamy.
I mean, they like ranch. If there is like with that, it was where ranch is mostly a condiment, is in Texas, right? Or Wisconsin.
Ranch is also a very heavy condiment in Texas.
Yes.
We also
And a
love Miracle
lifestyle.
Whip. Yeah, it very much is. Yeah, you can often put the two together. North and South Dakota are strange because they have different search terms, but they're similar. South Dakota, their top is shower sex.
Okay.
Yeah, because sour sex is bad too. It's just drinking.
That's Pet Cemetery sex.
Yeah. Sometimes that is better.
She's done turned sour.
But North Dakota, loud wet sex.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's similar.
But is it like, I don't know.
I would have never guessed them to be so clean.
But wet sex is kind of like,
Loud wet sex.
that's just more like, are they
That's
in a
so specific.
yeah, in
Yeah.
a swamp?
Some of them are very specific.
Is it like that, like muck?
I don't know what loud wet sex is.
I've never typed that in.
I have never typed that in either.
All the space in South Dakota, I bet they all got real nice showers.
Oh yeah, good water
You know?
pressure.
Like, yeah,
They
good
have
water
got stuff that
pressure.
we are not allowed to have here.
Yeah, like
illegally.
those special like shower heads and stuff.
Yeah, it blows your fucking asshole open.
Here's a very interesting one. Ohio, some of the other ones have, big dick. Big dick was a big search term this year.
sure.
Huge search term.
Sure.
Big dick energy, probably.
Yeah. Ohio, small dick.
Interesting.
Wow.
Ohio, very interested in seeing men with small dicks.
Explains a lot.
Yeah, that's where all my new family's from. So,
Yep. It really does explain a lot.
There you go.
Ask your father-in-law.
Yeah, that's right. I should. We're planning a call, a FaceTime on Christmas.
I feel like this is a good time being like, hey, Papu, do you call him a special name?
No, Bob.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know, like, because that's one of those weird things about calling your wife's father a thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we don't do dad, right? Dad's weird.
Barely
No.
called my dad.
Yeah, I mean, like, what do you call Carolina's father?
Roberto.
You call him Roberto?
It's his name.
But you don't call him, like, Senor Hidalgo?
No, I just call him Roberto. We're on first name babe. We're friends.
We should make a new name for that guy. Like, you call him like you do with your grandpa. Like, you call grandpa, like,
Pop is cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
Pops. Hey, Pops.
yeah. Being like, it's wife maker.
That's
You're
terrible.
the wife maker.
Hi, wife maker.
changed my-
That's what you say the first time you meet him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I changed my dad's name from Dad to Pop when I got a little older.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pop
yeah,
is
yeah.
good. Yeah. Yeah, I do take my earlier statement about no cops being on the most relative search list. The District of Columbia, big ass cop.
Big
Like,
ass
A
cop?
cop with a big ass.
I think it's a cop with a big ass. I think there's a cop.
There's got to
in-
be a guy.
There's got
to be one
No,
guy.
I think there's a woman. I think there is a woman in the District of Columbia. There is a police officer.
Do I have to look
Chocolate
this
City,
up?
baby.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
right.
doing this again. I'm not looking it up again.
Go ahead. Keep the safe search on.
I know. We're at work.
No.
I mean, it's fine. If it breaks, you buy me a new computer.
No, I'm just,
Yeah, New York has a weird one. Body swap.
Body swap.
Yeah.
What
I
is
feel like that is like a convention because there's certain
like
like
Freaky Friday?
you know what there's
I think
porn
so.
conventions that we're outside of, right? That we're not as interested in, like the idea of I've heard of the term free use.
Yeah.
Or people being like that's a common term,
Familiar
I guess.
with that.
That is on the thing, that is on the pornography systems.
Yeah.
And I feel like something like that feels like one of those.
Hmm.
That's like a category that we don't understand as a category.
Yeah. The one that, and I love our people in Oklahoma. You know I love
We
you
do.
so much. My family's from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I got friends in Oklahoma. You guys are great. But the term, what they Googled and relative to everybody else was sex dick.
Sex
Wow.
dick?
That's it?
That seems uneducated.
Yeah. Sex with dick. What's sex? Because I know how I Google search, and it is always that. It was like that's how like when I did that one video, it was like man masturbates caught by police, continues masturbates while caught by police. Like
Too
that's-
many details.
It's a lot of details, but then that thing of like, I guess just typing, you just need that dick. You're looking to see dick having a sex,
Yeah.
and so you just go like, I need sex dick.
Sex dick. Mississippi is the biggest furry state.
Oh, really? I would
guess-
guess it was PP for PPI.
I like that.
Do you think it's got anything to do with the river?
Yeah.
That old man river.
I would never
Oh.
guess the Mississippi to be furries, though. I would never expect them to like go out and buy costumes in Mississippi.
Well,
I imagine Halloween's boring in Mississippi.
true.
But now, not anymore.
You'd be surprised. I do find that a lot of our listeners that have talked about being into those types of lifestyles, they do kind of come from a place where there's like less stuff to do. Because it's a beautiful hobby if you're into it, right? Like you get to make all the costumes, you get to figure out because again, which we've been chastised many times before, it's not just sex.
Yes.
A lot of
Yeah, it's
furries,
like rubbing and like just hanging out too.
but it's just
It's a lot of just hanging out.
it's just not being a person.
Yeah.
It's being a sexy fox.
I had a very interesting trip once in Boston. We were doing the cop roast, and we're staying at the Hilton. And while I was at the Hilton, there was like a video game convention there and a furry convention, and WWE was in town. So the bar was nuts.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
It was like a bunch of cops,
And
wrestlers,
one bar
furries,
of-
and nerds.
Seriously.
And it was like, and everyone's just getting hammered.
Just one
Ric
bar
Flair
of
was a
deodorant
mess.
for
I'll
the
go ahead and
entire
say it. I don't
group.
give a shit. You know, he was a disaster. Everyone's staying away from him. He was being real scary.
He is scary. Yeah. He's also continues to be a very large man.
Yeah, but the furries were all over the place, and I gotta say, they're all sweet.
Oh, of course.
They're all so kind.
Of course they're kind. Of course they're sweet. I would imagine there's a bit of a Venn diagram between the furries and the video gamers.
Yeah. And the video gamers were doing like a magic card game. I don't think it was magic though.
Yeah.
And they were like, I'd never see it. There was like 100 people surrounding them in the lobby, and these two dudes were battling, and people were just fucking screaming and shit.
Hell yeah.
I could only imagine there's like thousands of dollars in magic cards
Dude,
getting put back and forth.
You're gonna
yeah,
end
dude.
up understand.
Tens of thousands.
You're gonna experience a lot more cons in the next couple of years, and you begin to see all the flavors.
It's fun.
There's many flavors because I find that the anime cons are interesting. They're more genuine fans, but they are a little bit more reserved. You know.
And it also depends on which con you go to. Some cons are more fun than others. WonderCon is more fun than San Diego Comic-Con because WonderCon is more focused on like nerddom and like getting together
Where's
and talking about. That's in Anaheim.
Oh, cool.
That's like you're
That's
talking
great.
like that's where I found like the Star Trek Society and like sat and talked with them like about Deep Space Nine for like 30 minutes. It was
Oh,
fantastic.
that's so nice.
yeah,
I'm
that's what a
about-
comic book convention's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I'm about to do Your Pretty Face Going to Hell panel in Raleigh.
Oh,
At the, I think it's like the Animatrix Con or something like that. January 5th through the 7th. I'm going to be there.
hell yeah! And while you're there, make sure to search Bubble Butt. That's the number one for North Carolina.
See, that makes a lot of sense.
Now, is that like from shitting from too much barbecue?